Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Positivity Push. Tamieka Smith is in the house. It's going to be an incredible show. We're talking about healthy relationships and how to overcome some things through relationships, how important relationships are to our walk in life. So, before we start, because we're starting in like 2 minutes, before we start, go ahead and share this broadcast.
Share.
Yes.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be so good on your personal Facebook page. And then as we go through the show, feel free to comment. Feel free to ask questions. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning.
Y'all know what to do. Just share. Get this show popping. And it's going to be a great show. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get this going. Sharing now. Join. Alrighty, so thank you so much, Jessica, for sharing. Thank you, Mom, for my mom's in the room. So Mom's in the room. Awesome. So thank you guys for joining us again. We're gonna get ready and start this. Do you want to say hey to everybody?
Hello, good morning, everyone. I hope all is well with everybody. We're gonna have a great show this morning. We're gonna talk about relationships and healthy and what's unhealthy.
That's
and
right.
how to move on when you're in an unhealthy relationship.
Can I see
so
that
it's
real
going to
quick?
be awesome.
Yes, it is. Let me tell y'all something. And she is, look at this. I mean, some people struggle with writing one book. Like this one, some people struggle with writing. This one's got 3. What?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about these and the importance of these. I'm excited about this.
I'm so
Thanks for
excited.
bringing it up. All right, so we're going to get ready and start. Thanks for joining again. Share this broadcast on your Facebook and get this thing going. All right? All righty. Good morning. Again, thank you guys. And feel free to comment and question throughout the show. This is WCOM 103.5 FM in Chapel Hill, Carborough. And also over the airwaves online, WCOMFM.org, worldwide. So throughout the show, I may give some shout outs from Facebook Live and if you've got questions or comments. All right, so we're going to get ready and start. Rocco, say hello to the people. Rocco, Rocco, you guys know him.
How are you?
There you go. Faithful Rocco. So you're off next week?
I'm going to be off next week.
Okay.
What's her name?
Bluegrass.
Mrs. Bluegrass is
Mrs.
going to be
Bluegrass.
in next Saturday.
Okay,
And I'll
cool.
be back in 2 weeks.
Doesn't he have that radio show voice?
He does.
All right, y'all. That's the intro. Let's get this thing going. Good morning, great people, positive people. Welcome to your winning weekend wake-up call with the Positivity Push with Antonio Santoro live on 103.5 FM WCOM, live in Chapel Hill in Carborough. It's community radio station. Are you ready to feel encouraged, inspired, and empowered? Well, sit back. You're in the right place. This is the Positivity Push. Thank you for joining us on 103.5 FM WCOM, Chapel Hill Carborough Community Radio. But also, you can join us in the studio on Facebook Live, facebook.com/The Positivity Push. You can join us in the studio with my guest, and thepositivitypush.com for more information. All right, good morning to everybody. Thanks for pumping those likes already. Miss Ida, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Brenda, for joining us, my mom. Thank y'all so much. We got Tamieka Smith in the house this morning. I'm super excited to have her. She is a well-accomplished woman, established in her own right. You know, we've talked about how your pain truly does create your purpose, and your scars do have a story.
Right.
Not one story, not two stories, but 3 stories this girl has. She just got a little something. I'm telling you this, she's got a gratitude, a 31-day affirmation and devotional guide. Incredible. Shattering the Glass House, a memoir. Yes. So she has her own memoir. And then,
started it all.
Oh my gosh. And then a 21-day guide to living your best life after toxic relationships. It's called Glow Up Girl. I'm telling you, this is awesome. So,
yes. Lovely world of writing.
I know, and that's what she has pinned herself as, Miss Wordsmith.
Yes.
So this is Miss Wordsmith in the house, and there's a reason why, because again, she's using her pain and pinning it all down.
That's right.
That's her purpose. I love it. Thank you, Angela, for joining us. Angela Robinson Woods. Thank you. So y'all know what to do. Share this broadcast.
Absolutely.
Push that positivity. We have again Tamieka Smith in the studio with us in the hot seat, and I'm super excited again for her. We also have an audience. Can we have this is the first, boys, come over here. This is the first time I think I've ever had an audience per se. What's your name, buddy? Darius. Say hello to everybody, Darius.
Hey, everybody.
Come on over here, buddy. So we have one audience member. We got one more audience member. What's your name? Deshawn. We got Deshawn in the building as well. Do you have any words of encouragement for the people this morning?
Stay inspired.
Yes, stay inspired. Hey, yes, I'm loving it. Out of the mouths of babes, stay inspired. So, that's the word for today. So, y'all, it's a good day. It's time to wake up and win. I'm excited about today's show. Again, we're talking about healthy relationships. We have still the one. That's how we're opening up this show. You're still the one. Having fun. That's what this is about. So we're having a good time this morning. So thank you guys again for joining us. Feel free to comment, questions, all that stuff throughout the show, and I'll give you a shout out over the radio to give you some notoriety, right? So it's good stuff.
Be sure to share, swipe and invite.
Yeah, so
it's going to be a good message.
It is. It's going to be really good. We got about an hour here, and we're going to be talking about healthy relationships and how we can get through life with them. You know, using healthy relationships as a tool in our toolbox, right? We don't have to do this thing by ourselves.
That's right.
So it's important to do that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. All right, y'all. Here we go. And that was Still the One by Orleans. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a great show today. It is your man, Antonio Santoro, your host of The Positivity Push, live here on 103.5 FM WCOM every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. I want to welcome all the listeners and viewers, that's right, viewers of The Positivity Push this Saturday morning over the airwaves on 103.5 WCOM, Chapel Hill Carborough's Community Radio, for your dose of positivity. Thank you for joining me. Also, the viewers of the Positivity Push page on Facebook, you can actually tune into the studio on the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Positivity Push. Just go like that page, join us in the studio every Saturday morning, or watch the replay. I promise you it's going to encourage you. While you're at it, visit thepositivitypush.com for more information about your host, how to be a sponsor, all that stuff, just to contact me. Or if you know a great guest that could be on the show, feel free to reach out to me as well. If this is your first time tuning in, the Positivity Push welcomes you to the most positive place on the planet, located in the corner of Chapel Hill and Carborough, North Carolina. This is your feel-good fix. This show and movement is to inspire, encourage, and empower you through various interviews and uplifting music. Thank you again for starting your weekend off with me. So I'm going to jump into this thing. I have an incredible guest in the studio. I'm super excited that she is here. She is a native of North Carolina, right?
Yeah,
Durham. Yep, grew up in Durham, and here in North Carolina, and I'm super excited. The Positivity Push wants to welcome a special guest to the show this morning. She's a mother, an author, an advocate, a coach, a blogger, and a survivor. Her compelling story of difficulty and pain has pushed her into the positive life with lessons of which she is going to share today. She is busy on the social media streets as she has found power in her pen. And we're going to talk more about that. Her pen has been the true problem solver in many ways. She desires to empower the world one word at a time, and she is a true positivity pusher. With her story comes great victory. She is the Miss Wordsmith, the glow-up girl herself. Miss Tamieka Smith is in the building. This positivity pusher is sure to brighten your day, and I'm super excited and happy she's here. Tamieka, say hello to the people over the airwaves and on Facebook Live.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here and to be on and to finally meet you in person.
Right? Let me tell y'all something, and I was we may be jumping the gun a little bit, but Tamieka and I have kind of been supporters of each other and followers of each other for about a year or so, through social media, through Periscope and Facebook and various other mediums. And I've been watching, you always have people that just kind of watch from a distance, right? I mean, they may be cheering you from a distance or hating, who knows? But I've been definitely cheering for Tamieka for some time now, from a distance. And I'm super excited that she's on the show this morning. As I've mentioned before, when I first started the show about 6 months ago, I created this calendar of guests that I want on, and Tamieka Smith was on that calendar. It was just a matter of when the right time and season was for her to be on. So I'm so glad that you're here. It's truly a treat that you're here. I'm telling you, she is incredible and just filled with grace. I love her grace that she's carrying this morning with her. So it's good stuff. We are going to jump into this interview with Tamieka Smith, Miss Wordsmith herself, right after this song, Demi Lovato, Tell Me You Love Me.
All right.
Alrighty. Good morning to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
So thank you guys for joining us. Thank y'all for coming on in. If you have not shared, go share this broadcast. What you waiting on?
Yes.
Go share this broadcast. It's going to be a great, powerful show with my guest Tamieka Smith. She born and raised in North Carolina.
Yes.
She's a North Carolina native, and she is so gifted. And she's got again. And where can they get these? Amazon or your...
On Amazon, on my websites, on TamiekaSmith.com, glowupgirl.com, without the W, GLOUP.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I mean, you can. I'm telling y'all, like, she uses her pen as her problem solver in a lot of ways, and she has got books, and more books. And I'm so grateful again to have her, because she's utilizing her gift, to touch people's lives, to push that positivity. And that's really what we're called to do. We are called to use the gifts and talents and the skills and abilities that we all have to push that positivity. What do you have within you? Are you a writer? Are you a blogger? Are you a singer? Are you a minister? Are you just an encourager? Do you have your own business that really helps people and encourages and provides resources? Whatever your gift, skills, talents, and abilities are, you can utilize those to impact people's lives. What are you doing, right? What are you doing with what you got? What have you done for it? Felicia, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Felicia Reed. So again, in. I see some people on. Thank you guys for joining us. Share this broadcast. Share this broadcast on your Facebook page. Get as many people as possible in on this movement this morning. So congratulations and keep inspiring. Hello from Maryland. So happy to be here. Maryland is in the house. Where's everybody viewing from?
Yes.
Maryland is in the house. We got Maryland. Thanks for joining us. Good morning. Watching from the Big Apple. Missionary Terry Asri. All right.
Right, New York in the house.
That are you must be related to Terry Usry. Is she related to Trelyn by any chance? Anyway, write the vision and make it plain, Miss Wordsmith. Yes. May the Lord bless you and keep you, Miss Tamieka. May the Lord continue to bless you on your journey. Awesome encouragement.
I love it.
Powerful.
We never have enough encouragement.
Never. Exactly. So thank you for those positive vibes, pushing those positive vibes this morning. Thank you for joining us. We got the Big Apple in the house. We got Maryland in the house. We have North Carolina in the house, of course. So good morning. If you've not shared, go do so right now. I promise you, you're in for a treat. Powerful woman in the studio this morning. So it's good stuff, y'all. It's good stuff.
Y'all.
So we're going to jump into this interview with Tamieka Smith, talking about healthy relationships, how you can. Yes, Trelyn is your first cousin. Awesome. She was a guest of mine a couple weeks ago. Perfect.
Oh.
Yes. Also, if you've not liked this page, go like this page right now. Go like the Positivity Push. Be a part of the community and be a positivity pusher. All right? All right, let's jump into this thing.
Okay, let's do it.
And we will be all right. Demi Lovato says so with Tell Me You Love Me. And that's really what we're doing today. We are loving everything and everybody that's listening right now on the Positivity Push on 103.5 FM WCOM, Chapel Hill, Carborough Community Radio. I'm your host, Antonio Santoro. You can join us on Facebook right now in the studio, facebook.com/The Positivity Push, as well as thepositivitypush.com. I've got an incredible guest in the studio this morning, Tamieka Smith, also known as Glow Up Girl, and Miss Wordsmith herself. She is a powerhouse. I haven't, as I mentioned before, I haven't formally met her until today, but again, I've been cheering for her from a distance for a while, and I connected with her on social media about a year ago. And through various live videos and mutual friends, I learned more about her. I was like, who is this Tamieka Smith girl? Who is she? And what's her story? And what a story she has. That's the thing. It's like we say, what's their story? And then when you find out what their story is, it's like, wow, what a blessing to have someone like this in the studio this morning on my show. What a powerful opportunity this is. So I learned more about her story. I knew she had to be a guest on the Positivity Push. I'm telling you, she lights up a room with that infectious smile. I'm loving it. She's bringing the positivity this morning. And again, I know that smile has been through quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it has been through quite a bit. Definitely. And we're going to talk about her story and how the smile really just continues to shine through no matter the ups and downs throughout her life. So today we are discussing the power of relationships. Did you know that relationships have power? Relationships have power. Relationships are the key component to life. You cannot do this thing by yourself. You've got to have somebody in your corner, somebody alongside of you. And listen, I'm just going to be very transparent. I'm a single dude, right? You know, but yet, although I'm not yoked or have a wife yet, trust and believe I've got people in my corner that support, that cheer me on, that encourage, that correct. Because trust and believe, the encouragement is just as important as the correction.
Absolutely.
Right? You gotta have somebody that's gonna hold the mirror up to your face and say, you're messing up right here, right?
Right.
And we're already jumping into it. I got to chill before I go too further. But the encouragement, the correction, the love. I got people in my corner, and that's so powerful. Relationships are so powerful, and many people's fear is to die alone. They are so unhappy and with just themselves that they believe that they need somebody else to complete them, and they don't necessarily. However, relationships are super valuable. And we're going to jump in with my guest, Tamieka Smith, who has learned so many lessons regarding relationships and the good, bad, and ugly of it all. Tamieka, I haven't really discussed much about your story intentionally because you know your story better than anybody.
Right.
And I've learned a little bit, pieces here and there. So I want you to tell the listeners and the viewers, tell us briefly your story. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, so about, it's been 10 years ago, I was in a relationship and, not knowing the value, like you were saying, about what's healthy and what's not healthy. And that was a relationship of nearly 5 years of it being, at the beginning, lovely, wonderful, saying and doing all the right things. And then it turned ugly. And then it was an ongoing cycle of the good, bad, and ugly. And one day it turned into a near-death experience.
Wow.
And so I, had the bravery to just leave and the courage to leave that abusive relationship because it wasn't, doing me any justice or my children any justice.
Sure.
And so when you have those bad situations, when you have those ugly situations, what do you do? And so, like you were saying, we can be single, and at times we can feel alone. And when we have a community of people to build us up when we're down, that's the lovely thing about life. And so that was an ongoing process of leaving that situation, allowing myself to be healed and moving forward from that.
Yeah.
And, from, the story about me writing the books came from, my grandfather telling me, just remember everything that he's ever done to you as far as physically. And it's like, okay, I'm writing my order of protection, but that birthed books.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. That's powerful. So there's a few things there that I want to touch on. You said that pain, that experience birthed books, and we're going to talk more about these books and these products here shortly, but I want to hit on something. One of the very first things you said was value. Talk a little bit about that value. Was it value in yourself? Was it did you not have self-value, or did you have self-value and you just caught up in a situation that you weren't aware of until you were in it? Or did you just not realize the value of healthy relationships? Talk about that value.
I didn't know the value of having healthy relationships at the time. I was basically on a rebound and not allowing myself enough time to heal from that other relationship. So, the warning signs. Go ahead.
Talk about that. Talk about that process of healing. How important that is from one relationship to another.
And I wrote a little mini book about that. The gift of goodbye. And so, we have to allow ourselves to feel those things that we're going on in the relationships, whether it be good or bad or ugly. We have to allow ourselves to heal, and we have to allow ourselves to move on. So it's like a short guide process. We have to feel, heal, and move on.
Feel, heal, and move on. So what are we feeling?
Those feelings, they may be feelings of depression. They may be feelings of isolation. There may be feelings of sadness. And it's okay to have those feelings, but the difference is you cannot be stuck.
That's it. That's it. You cannot be stuck. And that's the thing, we've got to give ourselves permission to feel again. Oftentimes, us positivity pushers want to look at the positivity all the time. We want to look at the light at the end of the tunnel all the time, but we never really want to look at the tunnel, right? We never want to look at the darkness that we're in. And so it's so important that you're saying that we've got to feel that depression. We have to feel that sadness and that loneliness in order to heal from it, right? You cannot you can't fix what you don't face.
That's right.
Right? So if I'm facing the depression, I'm facing the darkness, I'm facing the pain, I can fix it.
That's right.
And that's where the healing comes in, and then moving on. I love that. I love the value piece of learning about what healthy relationships are, and again, creating and birthing books out of that. And your near-death experience brought so much life.
It did.
You know, there's so much life to the experiences that you had, because again, as you were pinning it, I'm sure you were just thinking about every intricate detail, maybe to the shirt you were wearing that day, or the smell of the man. You just don't know. It's got to be a difficult process, right?
Right.
To actually feel that and then actually pin it down.
Right. It was a very difficult process.
Yeah, and when that difficult process is only impacting others, because if you didn't pin this, if you didn't share it in your book, or books, I should say, then it can't impact people's lives.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff. So let's move on. I'm just getting so caught up in this moment. Tell us a little bit about what a healthy relationship is to you. What is that?
A healthy relationship to me is someone where you have those healthy boundaries with someone. The communication is loving, is giving and taking. It's not just one-sided relationships. And so a lot of people get misguided to where, okay, this person can overlove you, and that's one of the signs of an abusive relationship. They call it gift bombs, where they're just giving you a lot of attention at the beginning, but once they have you, where they want you, so to speak, that's when they just switch it. So it's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yeah.
Wow, gift bombs. I mean, that's a power of manipulation, right? Like, you've got somebody that is manipulating you, trying to entice you into a relationship, and they feel like they've conquered something because they have you now.
Right.
And now that they have you, it's a little bit of a different situation.
Right.
Right. You mentioned boundaries and you mentioned communication. Why are these things important for a healthy relationship?
Sometimes someone can just be overwhelming to you, and when you're like, I'm a single woman also, so when I have that husband, hey, future husband,
all right, come on.
But when you have those relationships, it's good to know and have an identity, and a lot of people face having identity issues, and so knowing who you are, knowing the things that you like, and so there can be some compromise in a relationship.
That's powerful, because identity is key. Not only is identity key in relationships, but of course solo, we need to know who we are before we even jump into a relationship, and then expressing what you like and don't like. It's so foundational, but so important as well.
Right.
I mean, we've got to understand that it's not just us anymore. We got to get out of the selfish mentality and know that it's somebody else that we care about. It's somebody else that we love. Powerful stuff. I had a guest on about a month or two ago. Ronald Godby spoke one time. Many of us want the photo op instead of the friend. Many of us want the photo op instead of the friend. And we desire that glitz and glamour of one's life rather than the nitty gritty. As I mentioned, we all have those scars. We all have the mess. We all have the past. And loving somebody unconditionally. Love, and I love this description of what love is. Love is supposed to be unconditional. It's supposed to cover all faults, right? It's supposed to cover everything. So even the nitty gritty, all the mess, all the past, love is supposed to cover that. Love is like, and I love this again, this description. Love is like, it should be a roof on a house, right? If the roof has skylights in it or holes in the roof, that's not love. Love covers, totally, completely covers everything. If you got skylights in your roof of love, you got an issue. That's not effective love, because there's going to be points that you're going to point out, the mess, the past, and the mess ups that are going to create that. So we always want that photo op. We all want to make sure we look prim and proper and looking clean and fresh. but we don't want that nitty gritty. Tell us those warning signs of unhealthy relationship.
Yeah, because we have to take the mask off, just to piggyback what you're saying.
Yeah.
We have to unmask and be real with someone, because a lot of us, when someone asks how we're doing, it's just, I'm doing okay, but are you really doing okay?
Right.
Once you take the makeup off, once you strip yourself of who the world sees you as,
That's it.
who are you, and are you really okay? And speaking of the warning signs of unhealthy relationships, those gift bombs, that attention bomb, those kind of things at the beginning, those with my relationship, checking the odometer of a car, that's insanity.
Wow.
But yeah.
Wow.
And wanting to rush into a relationship really fast.
Pause real quick.
Okay.
The odometer in the car. For those that can't pick up on that, why did you do that?
Why didn't I pick up on that?
No, why did you have to check on that?
Because I didn't pay attention. It's hindsight is
Sure.
2020. But I'm like, okay, this is abnormal. Why are you checking the odometer of my car if I'm going to work?
Oh, he was checking.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a lack of trust there.
Right.
Okay.
A lot of insecurity.
Yeah, a lot of insecurity. So again, taking that mask off, showing who and being vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable.
It's really okay, guys.
That's where your strength really lies.
Right.
All right. Your strength really lies in being vulnerable and allowing you to bear it all and say, you know what, this is me, good, bad, and ugly, flaws and all. This is me. Love me or like me or leave me alone. And that's so powerful. The warning signs of lack of trust, the warning signs of gift bombs, attention bombs, these manipulation tactics, powerful stuff there. Anything else that comes to mind? Warning signs.
Getting to know the family.
Okay.
Also, that's a major component that a lot of people miss. Looking at how they interact with other people, if they are very isolated and loners, looking at things like that, and the manipulation.
Sure.
There's a lot of manipulation that goes on in those type of relationships that you really want to look out for. But one of the major things is they want to rush into something really fast.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so there's some warning signs for you guys. Rushing into something, insecurity, the communication and relationship with the family, that's really important as well. Just kind of note that and keep all that in mind. These are powerful strategies to identify those red flags. With pain comes great purpose. We know some of the things that have been birthed because of the pain of her experiences. Tell us the lessons that you learned through this. Tell us some of the things that you walked away with and said, you know what, these are the gifts that came out of this relationship.
Well, the lessons for me was, like the gift of goodbye. The lessons is me knowing that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to feel, like I was saying, to heal and to move on. It's okay to say, hey, I'm not okay. I need to talk to a therapist. I need to get out of this situation because I don't want to be stuck here. And just knowing that I'm not alone in this. When I was in the courtroom getting my order of protection, I saw so many people that didn't look like me that was going through the same thing.
Wow.
So that was really powerful and stuck with me.
Why was that powerful to you?
It was powerful for me. It was like a call to action for me to say, okay, I'm not alone in this, and there's other people going through the same thing. And to be a voice for other people. That was it really was a turning point for me.
Yeah, and she is. Tamieka Smith is an advocate. She really is a voice for people, and she really desires to get the story out so that she can help other people. Powerful, powerful woman in this room right now. I'm grateful again for your story. And you know what I love about you right now is you're unashamed about it.
Yeah.
How free it is to know that you are just saying, yeah, I went through this.
Yes.
I may have went in there one way, came out another. I've learned so much because of this, but how powerful that is. How powerful that is. Again, you're welcome. I'm so grateful to my guest, Tamieka Smith, who has been through the fire, come out as pure gold. letting us know it's okay not to be okay. You can give yourself permission to not be okay.
Right.
And you can give yourself permission to say, you know what, this just isn't working for me. You know, I'm not being fulfilled. There's something, and you know what? Express that. Talk about it. Communicate. She gave us a healthy relationship tactic to communicate. Powerful stuff. So simple, but so powerful, you know? And again, this is a gift that I've got in the room right now, to share this story and then continuing forward. So we're going to jump back with this gift right after these next couple songs. I've got Tamieka Smith in the studio with me, 103.5 FM WCOM, Chapel Hill Carborough's Community Radio on the Positivity Push. We'll be right back after these songs. Whew. Good morning, Miss Francina. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm telling y'all, so good.
Yes.
So good. Listen, you know, we share what we know, and some people share what they don't know. But Tamieka is here to share her experiences, and it's so empowering to hear somebody that's totally not ashamed of her story, and allowing her to know that it's all good. Like, you're not, what's the word? You don't have to be in that situation forever. It's temporary, right?
That's right.
It's temporary. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, it may be dark right now. Yeah, you may be going through right now. It may not feel good. But as we just mentioned, you feel, you heal, and you move on.
That's
right? Feeling is only a part of the process. Good morning, Miss Bernice. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Felicia Reed. Great words, not ashamed of her story. That's so true.
Felicia, yes.
Brian Bryant, I was just talking about you, sir. To Rocco, thank you for joining me, sir. But you don't have to be in this. You don't have to camp out. You don't have to have your address in the place of pain forever.
Absolutely.
Right? And you've got, as you mentioned, the process of feel, heal, and move on. Give yourself permission to feel. Give yourself permission to cry.
Yes.
You know, crying isn't weak.
It sure is.
It's not.
It's not at all.
No. And so we've got to understand and embrace the emotions that we've been given. Zerlina, you're welcome. Thanks for sharing your story, she said.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And it's just, I mean, it's awesome. It's just really awesome to know that that we've got, you know, someone like this in the studio that is unashamed of her story. Powerful, powerful stuff. So hope you guys are enjoying the show. Again, if you've not shared this broadcast, do it right now. All you do is just click the share button on your Facebook. Click share. It'll post on your feed. Have people join us. If you've got questions, comments, encouragement, I will he is the GOAT. Yes, he's the greatest of all time. Rocco is the man. Crying is cleansing. Francina, who are you telling? Crying is cleansing.
It sure is.
And it's a beautiful process because we've been given tears for a reason, right? And
telling you,
it's been good. I don't know. I think crying is not a weak expression. It's definitely strength, right?
Right.
So thank you guys again. I'm going to go ahead and start plugging away her, not one, not two, but 3 books. And I'm sure she's got many more that she didn't even bring. But Psalm 1:18-24, God is able to all but fail. Thank you for being a great encourager.
Oh, thank you.
You are a positivity pusher. So we've got, what order did you write these in?
So that's Shattering the Glass House.
Okay.
That's the first book, and Gratitude was the second, and this is the latest.
Okay, cool. All right, so we've got Shattering the Glass House, a memoir. Tell us a little bit about it.
So that's the story. That's the introduction of my story. My mentor, Tiffany Montgomery, she got me on the phone because I was facing a fear. I went to her class with her and Azrael, learned about the business of books because it is a business. And so after meeting her, 2 years later, she basically got me on the phone and was like, listen, it's not about you. this book, you need to think of a woman that's in a telephone booth with her kids. What would you tell her?
Wow.
So that just changed my perspective and just had me writing nonstop after that.
I know that's
So
right.
shout out to Miss Montgomery on that.
Listen, Tiffany Montgomery is thebomb.com. She's local and but she's also worldwide known. Like she's the bomb. And I follow her. I will one day meet her. I've not met her yet.
Yes, soon.
I will meet her one day. So if you can get the connect, get me to meet her. Then we got Gratitude, a 31-day affirmation and devotional guide.
Yes.
Powerful book right here. Tell us about this one.
So we have words. We have power in our words. Excuse
Yes.
me. You know, life and death is in the power of our tongue. So we need to speak life. When
Yes.
a lot of people ask me, how did I get out? It was my faith that got me out of this crazy circumstance that I was in. You know, we were even in a shelter. So
Wow.
people looked at me, so how can you be so positive after going through all of that? It was the faith, really.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, you know, getting that devotional time, writing those affirmations, it helped a lot.
Yeah, and because again, there is some shame attached to
Right,
this, you know,
right.
and that's why I commended you for your bravery and courage to speak about this, because there is that shame attached to it, and she's overcome that through her faith, through gratitude, through affirmations and speaking life in an unpleasant situation. Then we got Glow Up Girl. The latest, when was this released?
This was released like December
Last
2017. So
Okay.
yeah, that's
So it's still a
really
baby.
new.
It's still a baby. And we got it's Glow Up Girl, the 21-day guide to living your best life after toxic relationships. And this is not just for women, is it?
No, it's not. It's
Okay,
for
so even though
anyone
it's
that's-
Glow Up Girl,
right, it's
yeah.
a Glow Up Girl, but it's it's for guys too.
Right.
Y'all can glow up too.
Yes,
we
we
give
can-
you permission to glow up.
That's right. We all glow up.
Yeah.
And this right here is just sharing again your best life after toxic relationships.
Yeah.
We've all had an experience, whether you've been married or not, whether you've been serious or not. We've had partnerships, relationships, friendships that haven't been the best.
Yeah.
So what do you do? How do you bounce back from that? This book will help you with that.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is awesome. So thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Again, for the Positivity Push, we are playing 1+1 by Beyonce. But I can't play too much because last week I played a Beyonce song. And my broadcast, Facebook doesn't allow you to play like copyright music.
Okay.
So I have to like turn it down a little bit. Or I can't play the full song or something like that. Totally disrupted the broadcast. Like
no.
had to turn it off, turn it back on. So but it's all good. So
Facebook.
guess what? We learned our lesson.
That's right.
We learned our lesson. So we got Tamieka Smith. Y'all comment, questions, all that stuff. But also share this broadcast on your Facebook. Push that positivity this morning.
Be sure to share, and thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah, we're gonna jump in. Let's do this. All right. And that was 1+1 by Queen Bee herself, Beyonce. And I'm here with my guest, Tamieka Smith, live in the studio of 103.5 FM WCOM, Chapel Hill, Carborough Community Radio. And I am your host, Antonio Santoro, on The Positivity Push, every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to be a sponsor of the show, if you've got an event, an experience, a ministry, a business, or if you just are a great persona and you want to get your name out there, feel free to reach out to me on thepositivitypush.com. Just click contact and you can actually become a show sponsor. There are sponsorship packages on the website. So check it out and reach out to me, Antonio at thepositivitypush.com or thepositivitypush.com. Just go to the website, check it out, and I'll look for your email. All right, so we are back in the saddle, back in the hot seat with Tamieka Smith, my guest. We're talking about healthy relationships and the power of relationships and warning signs, red flags, as well as how we can utilize healthy relationships to push us into the positive life that we're called to live. New York Times released an article a couple weeks ago, and I posted this on my Instagram. New York Times released an article a couple weeks ago talking about how positive relationships, positive people in your life can actually extend your life.
Wow, that's
right?
amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
So they did this study where positive people in your life, if you've got positive people in your life, relationships, it can actually extend your life. Crazy, right?
Wow.
So anyway, just a fun fact. Go check out New York Times. I think it was like July 10th is when it was posted. But anyway, we're jumping in. Tell us, Tamieka, what is really important about healthy relationships? What's important about it to you?
That was really powerful what you said.
Yeah.
That, having healthy people around us extend our lives. And when you think about it, I was just thinking, think about the trash that we take out.
Yes.
If you have it stuck in your house, it's going to stink.
That's it.
So it's basically
Wow, that's good.
it.
That's
So
good.
take it out. If you're dealing with someone that may be toxic, let that go, whether it's a friendship, whether it's romantic, whatever the case may be. And sometimes you even have to love your family at a distance sometimes.
That's it. Got to love your family at a
And it's
distance.
okay,
That's
too.
right. It's okay.
So, when it comes to the toxic relationships and extending, your life, that's something to really think about.
Yeah.
Who do you have in your circle? It's always good to have those self-reflective times to say, how is this relationship? Am I always giving? I'm a giver by
Right.
nature.
Me too, yeah.
So I had to learn the hard way. So if it's always giving and it's not, a win-win situation, you can just be tired. So it makes a lot of sense.
Sure.
But when you put the science into it, it really makes you think about that.
Yeah, and we talked about even as Beyonce was playing, Tamieka and I were talking about her mentor, Tiffany Montgomery. And again, as you mentioned, it can be friendships, it can be romantic relationships, or it can be just mentorships, people in your life. Like, what are they pouring into you, right? Are they pouring in that trash like you talked about? I love that analogy. Or, trying to take out the trash, like if it's toxic, take it out.
Right.
Because you do not have the capacity to hold corrupt people.
That's
You
right.
don't. You don't have the capacity to hold corrupt people. You cannot have, you're only on this planet for so long. Please be mindful of who's in your life. Please be mindful. Because if you're not, it could totally damage it.
Absolutely.
It could damage your life.
It really can.
Imagine if you had stayed in the relationship that you were in.
Right. I may not even be here.
Exactly.
It was a near-death situation, and it was several near-death situations. So, I had to carry that grace onto something else.
Yeah.
And not be bitter from that situation
That's it.
either, because we can either be better or we can be bitter from a
right.
situation. A lot of people carry unforgiveness.
Yes.
And that's something, that you don't want to have in that toxic relationship, in that trash bag.
It's the
Yeah,
residue.
it's
It's
that
the
residue.
It's the residue.
Absolutely.
It's like, the bitter feeling and just the mess that comes along with it. It's the residue. So Tamieka is so free from all this. I love her spirit right now. Tell us, you talked about online. I was doing some research on her as well before coming on, and you suffered from depression as well through this. Talk about that experience and a little bit and what carried you through these dark times.
Because when I really had a moment to sit and think about what happened to me, that was traumatic. And, leaving with the boys and then one in pull-ups, one in diapers, and just really absorbing that situation and just thinking about that. And a lot of people think, post-traumatic stress is only for people that's been in the military.
Right.
And it's not. And so, I had to be like, my family, like, okay, you've been a little snappy, you've been a little angry. I had to process, that healing thing. And so, and to allow myself to feel, but it just was hard for me to get out of the bed.
Sure.
Like,
Wow.
I'm thankful to be living, but why did I go through this?
Wow.
And then I had to, like the lessons, it was lessons from that. It was just bigger than me. So I had to be like, okay, I had to talk to somebody else. Someone not just to tell me, oh, get over it.
Yeah.
Because that can be, hard for, a lot of survivors to, have someone to tell them, it's okay that you went through it. I'm here for you. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to look at you crazy. how can I help you?
Right.
And that's what it's about, being
It
empathetic.
is. Yes.
Not knowing, you're not the person that went through it, but just being empathetic.
Exactly. And then what actually got you out of the bed? What was it that was that light at the end of the tunnel for you?
It was my boy.
That's it.
Yeah, and it's as simple as that. It was the kids, and I'm sure he moved on. Why should I sit and let this residue in me and let that? I've moved on physically.
Get stuck. Yeah.
I need to move on emotionally.
Wow.
And spiritually.
Wow, and that's powerful. The kids pushed her. And just to realize that it is bigger than yourself.
Right.
That this story is not for just you.
Right.
This story is for millions to experience this journey with you, to take people on this journey of some of the darkest times in your life, but yet on the other side of it is so bright. I've often say sometimes our best days come out of our darkest days, and this is an example of that. What strategies would you provide to these viewers and listeners about establishing those healthy relationships? I know we talked a little bit about those. If you want to talk more about them, or if you've got other strategies that really benefit our lives by having healthy relationships.
Right, and one of those things would be, or several of those things would be, looking at your relationships. Take inventory of your relationships that you have with people, and is it healthy? Is it not healthy? If you're not sure, then put it to the side and to really look at those things, because it's important. The people that you have around you, having someone that I can call up and be like, hey, I'm not having a good day. And for them to, as encouragers, you're constantly pouring out.
Sure.
And you have to be poured into.
Sure.
That's very important.
Yeah. So just take an inventory. It's okay. Like, we always start with the assessment first. You have to have an assessment, a self-assessment. Okay, what is it that I need to correct in my life? What do I need to correct in the relationship? But then you take action, and then you reassess. So after you take that action, whether it's toxic relationships that you're getting out or you're keeping in, you just reassess. All right, so how is my life now 6 months later? Am I happier? Am I depressed? What's going on here? You're just continually taking inventory of your life and the relationships that are in them.
Right.
So powerful stuff. I want to go ahead and talk about, she is Miss Wordsmith. She is... her last name is Smith, so obviously it's a pun, but Miss Wordsmith, and she has written multiple products and books. I'm going to allow her to elaborate on them. I know we did a little bit over the break, but we've got first Shattering the Glass House, a memoir. Talk a little bit about that, Tamieka.
Yeah, so Shattering the Glass House, that's what started it all. That's, my testimony of getting over the relationships, those red flags that I didn't see in the beginning, me allowing myself to have that feeling, healing, and moving on. And even the situation of me being in a shelter, how could I be so positive in a shelter? Yeah. Because it would look like insanity to other people, right? Yeah. And so allowing myself to let go of the shame. Yes. Because we all have a story. Yes, we do. And why allow something to exploit us when we can exploit it for good? That's it. That's it. Are you using your story for good? Because you could definitely sell this thing and make him look like a monster. Right. But you've got forgiveness in your heart. You're a woman of God, and you walk with integrity. Right. And so as you do that, there's not really a villain in this story. It's just, hey, there's lessons learned. Absolutely. Right? There's lessons learned. Then we got Gratitude, a 31-day affirmation and devotional guide. I love this book. So tell us about this book. All right. So affirmations, devotional. A lot of people would ask me, how could I be positive after dealing with a situation and such? And, it was faith that kept me going. And so I decided to just go ahead, write the book, write some, some scriptures that I go off of, and even have space for you to, have those self-reflections. Yes. Because we're going through a journey in life. What's some things that we can work on? What's some, great things that we have that's going on in our lives to really be powerful, because we're in a community. Yes, exactly. And that's the thing is, and you mentioned our power is in our tongue. I mean, the power of the tongue, we can speak life and death. And
we've got a book here that speaks nothing but life. So having a tool like this, utilizing it, is something that will definitely benefit you. And then we have a baby here, just released in December, Glow Up Girl, the 21-day guide to living your best life after toxic relationships. As I mentioned on Facebook Live, we've all had partnerships, mentorships, relationships that haven't gone as planned, haven't been the best. And this right here talks about how we can bounce back. So talk a little bit about that.
All right, so Glow Up Girl is basically, after dealing with darkness, allowing yourself to shine, not only for women, but for men also.
Yeah.
You can have an unhealthy friendship, unhealthy relationship, somebody at work, is driving you nuts. Like, how do you deal with, certain things in life, and having that step-by-step process to say, hey, I want to live better. I want to shine.
Yes. And that's how we can do it. We can show up and shine after the shame. All right? And on the back here, I love this. This resource book will help you, 1, help you recognize your identity. 2, learn how to properly heal and forgive. 3, empower you to go to the next level. 4, acknowledge when to let go. And 5, get out of living in regret, and so much more. So this book is a great resource to those as well. Where can they find these books?
They can find it on my website, TamiekaSmith.com, glowupgirl.com without the W, and also on Amazon.
All right, Amazon as well. So you can check those things out as well. So we're about to wrap this thing up. It just flew by, right?
Right, that was so fast.
So fast. But it was so powerful. So as we wrap up, Tamieka, tell us a little bit, just a PowerPoint. What's one thing that people can take away from this show and really utilize to create and establish healthy relationships?
Yeah, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have someone to talk to. We're not going through life alone.
Yeah.
Encourage yourself and encourage other people. We have a community. We don't have to be isolated from anyone. We don't have to isolate ourselves.
Right.
We need each other to hold each other hand and to build each other up. So you're in this together. We're in this together. That's the beauty of life.
That's it. We're in it together. And like I mentioned, it's very difficult to do something on your own, such as life. Life has its way of giving you the ups and downs and the blows. And when life hits hard, you need a hand to hold. When life hits hard, you need a hand to hold. And I'm so grateful because, again, it's okay not to be okay. You don't have to be okay all the time. You could take the mask off and say, you know what? I'm not feeling my best today. So that's one thing that I struggled with when I first got this radio show, the positivity push. I was like, what happens when the positivity pusher doesn't want to be positive? What if I want to wake up and be in a funk? Yesterday was one of those days. I was in a funk like nobody's business. And then I had to get my mind right. I had to get my words right. I had to get some things right for me to glow up, right? To glow up and blow up and shine. So, all right, y'all, listen. We're going to wrap this thing up. I am so grateful to you
so much.
This morning for the nuggets that you provided. Powerful stuff. How can people get in touch with you? Because I need you guys to book her. Go check her out. We've got so many people on Facebook Live that are coming on, sharing. Trelyn, Alexandria, we've got Francina, Brenda. We got so many people joining us this morning. But Tamieka, how can people look you up and book you to speak?
All right, so you can go to TamiekaSmith.com, glowupgirl.com. I'm all on social media. I am, on the social media
Right.
You can find me at Miss Wordsmith on Periscope and Twitter. You can find me at Tamieka Smith on Instagram. So I'm everywhere. I'm on Facebook as well.
Yes, she is everywhere. I love it. So I will be posting some of that on my website as well, on the Facebook page. So check her out. And again, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Listen, guys, that's it.
Wow,
I know.
thank you.
Didn't it just fly by?
It did.
It did. So listen, guys, that is it. That's the show today. It has been a pleasure waking up with you winners this morning. I am Antonio Santoro, your host of the Positivity Push here on 103.5 FM WCOM, Chapel Hill Carborough Community Radio. Thank you again to the listeners. Thank you to my guest, Tamieka
Oh,
Smith.
thanks for being here.
Yes.
It's an honor.
Yes. Online listeners as well, and the viewers on the Positivity Push Facebook page. Thank you so much for joining us. I will see you guys next week at the same time, 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. Join me, thepositivitypush.com, for more information. Be great today and this week ahead. And stay tuned for Rocco and the music hall from 9 to noon. Always remember, be positive.
Hi.
All righty. All right. Yes.
Did you have
Thank you.
fun?
I
I tell you, you had
did.
fun.
All right.
Man.
Francina says thank you for your story.
Oh, thanks, Francina. Thanks, everybody on
Yes.
Facebook.
Thanks for joining us. We're going to
So
wrap this
good.
up. Let me get out of the way first. Forgive me, Rocco. Let me get out of the way. And then I'm going to end this Facebook Live.
Antonio, I
Yes.
don't know if this thing.
Yeah, it said
What happened?
it said storage full, and I deleted some of the stuff this morning. I'm not sure. I am not sure. Well, you're... Alrighty. Let me get this out of the way for you. Alrighty, y'all. Listen, that was the Positivity Push with my guest, Tamieka Smith.
Hey.
Y'all check her out, tamiekasmith.com. I'm going to post it on facebook.com. Thank you guys for joining us. Listen, be positive. Have positive.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us again. Have some positive relationships in your life. Have positive relationships. I promise you, your life will be more enriched than ever before, okay? All right, y'all. Be
Talk to you
positive.
soon.
All right.
Enjoy
Check
your
her out.
weekend.
All right. Have a good
Bye.
one.